Happy 4th of July, everyone. I am doing a 2-week garden tour. We got a lot of rain, well-needed rain, and I kind of wanted to show you how the garden reacted to that. So I did an end of June tour, so now here is July 3rd, right before the 4th of July, and I'm kind of doing it between the raindrops here. So I just wanted to show you what this looks like. What a beautiful flower these are, but they kind of are overtaking my lavender here. So I'm going to try to pull it back a little bit and let the lavender grow. So I wasn't going to trim. I told myself I wasn't going to trim this year. Not going to do it, not going to do it. But it was such a mess down below here that I needed to have some airflow. So I trimmed it a lot. And this one right here is my chocolate cherry. The middle one is a jubilee. And this one is a sweet cherry. I went and accidentally tore this one, chopped it off the top. Oops. But like I said, it was a jungle mess. So look at how tall already. I'm going to run out of room for sure. So we'll see how this goes. As you can see, look at these volunteer sunflowers I just let grow. This is the tallest they've ever been in this bed. Amazing. So we'll see when they decide to flower what they look like. And unfortunately though, they are shading out these poor cucumbers. These are my F1 cucumbers that I'm trying. This side is just doing that. I did fertilize them with a slow release fertilizer at the base. These June berries are coming back and I'm getting flowers. It looks healthy. Look at it's coming off the end. This is what rain did. Rain did this. And the warmer weather, but this is looking very healthy. I'm gonna have to move this into a bigger pot, but I'm gonna have strawberries again on a June bearing, so that's great. You see that these cucumbers are doing much better because they're getting sun, more sun in the evening. These peppers are doing amazing here. Again, everything got a dose of slow release fertilizer, and then it rained, so they should be at their best right now. They look great. Look at these ones right here. This one right here, I thought I was gonna lose these two, and look at them. They look amazing. So beautiful variegated nasturtium. My raspberry I had to prop up on this rose trellis. It's looking great. Looks like I'm gonna get some raspberries soon. I finally filled this. These were volunteer nasturtiums. I don't know how well. I tried to dig them up the best I can without disturbing the roots. Some of them look like they're gonna make it, others maybe not. But I filled it. I want this to drape down the side and be a nice centerpiece for this window and patio. That section's looking very good. I'm not sure. I did fertilize it. We'll see. Maybe it'll come back, or it's natural. It's been there for a while, so looks great. I think some of these are the straw flowers that kind of feel like paper, like a fake. They feel fake. These are supposed to be orange, and they're supposed to be like large, so I'm excited to see those when they open up. Let's head on over to the garden. I'm also super excited. I've gotten several strawberries off of the I'll just call it the coop strawberries, and the chickens have left them, or I mean the birds have left them alone. You can see they look nice and full. And I am getting some strawberries. So everything's looking nice there. You see they've left the mints alone. It's gonna be nice and full. They ate my lemon balm down to nothing. They kicked the cage off of it and ate it down. I still have that one though. That one's outside of the run. These were all volunteer sunflowers. I have dill everywhere. That's what this is right here. Smells amazing. I love dill. But look at, even these are getting really tall, and they're creating additional shade for when the sun comes this way. It's great. My poor plants here, they just have not bushed out like hydrangeas have, like I intended that they would bounce back maybe next year. We'll see. But these are early Cascade tomatoes, and look at, I got some babies. They're looking great. A little bit of leaf curl, but I'm wondering if that is because of the smoke that we've had for a while. Again, like everything got fertilized yesterday, so maybe they'll start bouncing back and not getting this leaf curl. So they're in a big enough pot. Like I said, I think that's a 10-gallon, maybe a little more pot. I've grown them in smaller and they've done well. So not sure what's going on. It's still getting tomatoes. Look at, so I'm getting flowers, and they look, this one looks good. They're just not getting bushy, like I'll show you. You see there, those are the 3 that I planted in the chicken yard. Someone robbed me of my cherries, so what little ones I had, they're gone. I haven't looked at the peach that was coming in, but both of the trees are looking really well. The blueberry bush is looking all right, but I never got around to putting more layers on there. I've got to do that, just not today, for my potatoes that were a miracle they survived. Everyone, I just want to say I'm a little regretful I'm building the raised beds. Just to know that a raised bed, you will have to continually add soil to it more than you would an in-ground. And I don't know if it's because this section right here is in the chicken yard and they were on this area tearing up the grass and mixing in the dirt. I'm sure that that was the big part of that reason. But I have mushrooms all in my yard. See here, I have great soil apparently, and I've grown a garden here in the past, like a section of this, and I've always done really well. But look at everything. Look at that pumpkin. I think that is pumpkin. I've got corn, tomatoes, but this is a corn squash, in which I'll show you in the garden, from the same greenhouse in the same pack, planted at the same time. Look at that. Now I'm doing a hybrid Three Sisters method. I just don't have any beans, but it's corn, squash, sunflowers. Some people use sunflowers, and then beans. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna swear by it. It's either that, or because the chickens kind of worked the soil in, or both. But look at, corn's looking good here, but not in my raised beds. I've got to pull that basket off of the watermelon plant, and get in here and do some weeding. Obviously I've got lots of grass, I want to let them in here to do their thing, but at the same time I'm like, but these are gonna be good crops and they may tear my plants up. We'll see what I do. But look at these peppers in the basket. Now these are from a greenhouse. They were planted later, small little bushy plants, but I should have snipped the flowers so that they spent their production into getting big and bushier, but it was kind of a last thought. I just threw some replacements in there from the greenhouse. There's a super chili, but look at the ones that I planted from seed. I was worried about them. I shouldn't have worried, but this growth is amazing. These are the F1 cucumbers here, and I'm gonna start getting rained on. But look at all these pepper plants in a pot, by the way, in these grow bags that are breathable. They absolutely love them. Onions in a pot, looking all right. Let's go over to the big garden. I'm definitely gonna get rained on. But look at my trellises are filling in. Storms came through and blew off a lot of petals. But here's my black seaman. Tomatoes, looking good. Lots of flowers on this one. I've not trimmed any of these tomatoes yet. I may need to, because I'll show you if we get to it, if I don't get poured on, what they look like. Just amazing. Tomatoes this year, plants are big, they're bushy, they're green. There's hardly any leaf curl. But again, we had a lot of rain. We're gonna get more. And the garden just absolutely loves it. Some bush beans doing good. I haven't checked in a couple of days for cabbage loopers, but I have seen tons of more moths. So I am due to start looking at that before I get overran. Tomatillos that someone just chomped down are coming back. So as long as there's a couple of leaves on the plant, most likely it will come back. Some leeks that survived my little chicken attack are doing well. I got a tomato plant that I just threw in there last minute. This is the tomatillo plant that survived the attack, looking all right. Oh no, there is an aphid. Oh no. But I gotta go through and start looking through this if we ever get a break on the rain. I put in a celery end and it was doing better, but someone chopped it. But look it, there's still a little there, so we'll see what happens. Again, spinach that went to flower. Excuse me. Some, I think these are the chilies that I planted over here. There's more here. Again, I should have snipped them so they put their energy into growing bigger, but again, it was just the last minute. I need to throw something in. Someone, even though these were growing through, someone just chomped them down. See, chomped it. I need to get something better here, so that I get some. The onions here are just doing meh. The small bulbs. This bean plant, it's got lots of flowers. Oh look, I got green beans. There's a green bean. So this one came up by seed. It's just doing meh. Looks like somebody's like eating it. I have tons of roly-polies in these beds. I was telling my husband, I think I may just take down the raised beds and ones that I can, like maybe not this one, these two long ones, and I don't know. and just manage them in spaces, but keep the wood chips, you know, kind of more like a, I don't know, we'll see. I like to be able to sit on the edges, and it's nice, but at the same time, it's getting very difficult to maintain the soil level and getting good quality soil. We'll see. So again, here's banana pepper in a pot. You see, this is not, I don't know if this is not quite 5-gallon pot. I mean, it's a pretty big one, but one pepper. It looks pretty good. I'll still probably get lots of banana peppers off of this plant. So I had a lot of radishes go to seed. I'm just letting them for the pollinators, and I'll grab seeds for next year's harvest or this fall. My beefsteak tomatoes are not that big plants. I'm starting to get flowers, but they're both not really that big. Lettuce looks great. I harvested some last night for salad today. Tons of calendulum everywhere. I haven't started to get rained on, so let's hurry this up. See, grape, still not that great looking. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. Ponderosas and Brandywines looking good. Look at how big. Look at how beautiful these Scarlet Runner bean flowers are. So they're slowly winding up. See, this is where I grabbed all the volunteer nasturtiums, some more radishes that went to seed. But here's where I want to show you. Do you see? Is not as big as the one over in the chicken yard. So if you have chickens and you can, I highly recommend letting them sit in an area and work in soil and poop and let that manure age. This is a thought, I may let them work in my next garden bed. Just let them come in here and stay in this area during the fall and work the soil in and poop, and then let that manure sit all winter long and see what happens. I may end up with a lot of soil outside of these raised beds because that's what they like to do, is kick around. But we'll see. It's definitely starting to rain. But this corn is, now these were planted by seeds, not started inside and then moved outside. These were planted right in the ground, and they're a little behind, obviously. They were planted at different times. But did I make the knee high by 4th of July? A couple. Not a lot. So we'll see what happens to these ones. And then look at these tomatoes. I am super happy with the way they look right now. All this rain is doing fabulous work. I pulled my garlic. Some of it was like, oops, waited a little too long, and some of them were just perfect. If you saw my post and how big they were, the largest one was as round as a hockey puck. So they turned out great. So I seed started these in trays, so they were ready to go in the ground. It's a mixture between zucchini, summer squash, and I think watermelon. I believe that these two are watermelon. So we'll see. Hopefully I can control the vines to stay in the garden and not go into the grass where my husband or myself would run it over with the lawnmower. So we'll see if we can keep this trained to stay where I need it to go. So we'll see how this bed fills in. I had only a couple of Cosmos come on out of the tray, so I put those there. Let's see, Volunteer Roma tomato, I believe, because I had Romas in here last year. But look at this tomato, the only one that survived the deer attack. This is a Rugger, and I'm gonna have so many tomatoes, too many. So hit me up if you want some. Look at this rhubarb plant. That it was so tiny, if you remember from earlier when I planted it, but look at, this is gonna be massive. I'm super excited to have rhubarb next year. These ones the ones that got attacked by the deer or something, probably deer. And you see they're coming back just fine. So, what else can I show you really quick before the rain really takes over? So here are deer even came in here. Nasty boogers. Deer fencing to come. And maybe some chicken tunnels. We'll see if I can make that work around the garden. And then I can in the fall and spring release them into my garden and let them work the soil so that I can keep my raised bed after all the money and time that we spent on these. But you can see my pepper plants are bouncing back. Rain, people, rain. It is so good for them, rather than our hose water that has all these chemicals in it. Just food for thought. I wish I had how, not nasty I would say, but how much chemicals we actually take in from our own drinking water. So onions are looking good. I see I have a couple of flowers coming on these, so I'm just gonna take that and snip it, and it'll put its production into growing a bigger bulb rather than going and putting effort into making seeds or reproducing. So some Cosmos finally coming in, more calendulum. Well, that was from last year. These ones I did plant, but you see how they are attracting the aphids instead of going onto your actual crop. So again, Volunteer dill, never planted a single one of this year, but I have dill. So plant dill once, you'll have dill forever. Second year not planting it, and I have it all over. So, but look at these bulb. Look at how big. These are my Walla Wallas. I have more lettuce coming here. So, and there's some more lettuce there. My oregano is not doing too well, unlike last year, but I did fertilize it, and you saw some of the yellowing is gone out of that. So hopefully it'll fill this whole pot like it did last year. Let's see what else. I have pulled some carrots, but these are like the only carrots that I got. We had a few here and there, but oh well. Scarlet runners, I think these are regular. I'll know when the flowers start forming on this side. But again, more on this side. Scarlet runner beans, looking good. I think that's it. So, all right, thanks for this quick follow-up on after the rain, 2 weeks from, I think, today. I'm not sure if it's exact, but everything loves the rain. And even though we've been getting some of the smoke from the fires in Canada, I think it's been pulling some of that smoke into the water. And you know, ash is really good for a lot of things, especially minerals, stuff get put back into the soil. So I'm not complaining about it. I think it's bullcrap what the government tells us about air quality. So just take a look. Let that sink in. Thanks everybody, and have a safe holiday.